Free them all.
We're saying
Free 'em all.
Mumia
Live and
Abu
direct.
Jamal,
Make his take
Oscar Grant,
Free 'em all. The positive energy is everything to us. So again, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Justice for Tyree, you guys see it here with the Nichols family and all the others that are out here fighting for justice for all. Okay, hey, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, hollywoodnex in the building, bringing you guys yet another one. Well, Diddy issued an apology, but did he really apologize to the people he should apologize to? Because he honestly did not say a name when he issued that apology. But don't take my word for it. I'm going to share the video with you guys. I'm going to break it down and we're going to talk about it right here on the platform. So before I get started, welcome everybody to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please bring your pieces and please bring your opinions because they're valued over here, okay? Whether you agree or disagree, we respectfully do it in decent and in order, okay? So now, with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen with y'all because, like I said, Diddy came out, he issued an apology, and I want to talk about this so-called apology because I'm questioning, was it really an apology? Because, again, like I said, it didn't sound like one, but it did sound like he did admit to a lot of guilt. And we're going to break all that down right now. All right, let's see. Let's share my screen with you guys. All right, there we go. There's my screen. And let me see. Okay, there we go. Boom. All right. Blow this up some. Put this up here. All right. Here is Diddy and his so-called apology.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, go into rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
All right, let's talk about this, okay? And how much of it do you guys believe? Y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. Hey, Karen, Jay, I see you in the building. Miss Johnson, shout out to you and thank you for being here. Appreciate you, Queen. So now I want to share. Let me move this off my screen for 2.2 seconds so I can pull up my next screen for y'all. Move this out the way. I'm gonna share this one. All right, let me share my screen. Remember this video that Diddy did at his BET at the BET Awards when I guess they were honoring him. It was some type of achievement award. Okay, hold on, let me blow this up a little bit better. All right, there we go. All right, so did he say that he is not asking for forgiveness? Girl, you know we're gonna break this thing down, right? So I'm definitely gonna go back and play it just so I can hear if he said that or not. Okay, so let me see. Let me see. I wanted to play this particular video from the BET Awards because he said something similar along the lines when he came out. Let me just see. I had it ready. Let me go back. Oh, I gotta go back and hear that because you heard something that I may have missed. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here, let's get into this one. Oh, wait. Here it goes. Why is it? Okay. Uh-oh. I missed it. Okay, we gotta play it one more time. Missed it, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Okay, so he's acknowledged it back then. He was admitting it then when he came out at the BET Awards, and he's like, he wanted to thank Cassie for holding him down in a dark time. And then he comes out with this here statement about being in a very dark space at that time. I have lots of questions, but I want to go back to that particular video so I can hear if he said what you're asking, Karen. So let me take this off. Let me get back over there to that screen. Hold on. Let's pull it up. Let's see. Here we go, right here.
I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab.
You're lying. Show us the record.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry.
I hope he didn't say it.
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness.
He's not asking for forgiveness. He said it.
Sorry.
Ooh. He said he was not asking for forgiveness. So what is he asking for? If he's not asking for forgiveness, what is he? Great catch, Karen. Great catch. So let me start breaking down what I got out of this as well. But that was a hell of a catch. Yes, he said he was not asking for forgiveness. So then what is he asking for? I mean, because to me, when he issued this so-called apology, he never identified her by her name. He apologized for what people saw in that video. He didn't apologize for the way he treated her. Okay, so let's make sure we clarify that up, and that's why I'm gonna keep this video up, because this is gonna be where I'll be breaking things down and making my points from this particular video. Okay, so I'm gonna go
Mercy
back.
and grace.
I want to go back. I don't know how to rewind it, so I'm gonna let it play itself out. I'll just press mute, let it play itself out, then I'll start it. Well, matter of fact, I don't gotta even do that. I'm tripping. I could just do this and go back. Let's listen to when he issued this apology. Again, he's acknowledging the video. He's still not there. I don't know how much therapy he had, but he still has yet to acknowledge the people he hurt. And he speaks about being having therapy, going through that dark time. Okay, but again, you speak about that specific individual video and that individual time where you was having that moment. But that moment is not something that just happened with Cassie. That moment from the history and the allegations is something that has been happening for a long period of time. And even the rumor he slapped his mother, it starts with your mama. You didn't even respect your mother, if that's even true, you know. But again, that's what is being said, that he slapped his own mom. So if he slapped his mother, you think he have any respect for any of the women he's ever come in contact with? And the fact that he has these daughters, I mean, you know, and it's sad. It's really sad. If I was his children, especially those twins, you know, and the son that's from Kim, I would be questioning, did my daddy have anything to do with the untimely passing of our young, youthful, healthy mother? Okay, I mean, it's just things are not adding up around him, and I feel like these children is his only. They're the ones, to me. If they don't do it, of course, the public is doing it, but they are the ones who should be really looking into their father, gathering up intel on their father. And it's sad, but it's like, you have to be the voice for y'all mom. Ain't no way, if there's rumors out here that my dad has something to do with the early passing of my mom, that I'm not going to stand up and do what's right for my mom. I mean, it's just not, it's not going to work for me. But yeah, let me see. So yeah, it's so much. So now I want to just jump over there to the shade room, because so many people is coming out. So many people is talking about it, as they should. You know, T.D. Jakes actually, he did a sermon earlier. We'll get into that as well. If you guys hadn't got a chance to hear it, I got the whole sermon, and he even did a prayer with the people, and everything. So he already came out, but he too, he wasn't direct, even though he was indirect. He didn't identify Diddy by name. He used the whole scenario of a woman reached out to him and said, you know, she wanted him to pray for domestic violence people, or people that are fear in their own homes. He came at it that way. He didn't come at it head on like I feel he should have come at it. I mean, being that you are, you know, like this big mogul in the church, and then you have this, you know, he has a mega church, you know, and, you know, he has a huge following and a huge presence. And for him to come out and not, to me, come head at Diddy with it, you know, this is where you have to separate yourself from man. Okay, when you serve nobody but God, you can't worry about what man is going to think and say about you. I feel that T.D. Jakes watered this down some, even though he did address the situation. He did not address it head on. He did not identify Diddy, but he did, you know, speak around it, and he blended it. But he was trying to massage it and comfort it, to me, for Diddy's benefit, because he did not address it the way I personally would have wanted to hear the pastor come out and address it. Like I said, we'll get into that momentarily. Cookie the Real 717, shout out to you, boo. I see you in the building. Thank you so much. So Masika came at Carisha, and then somebody came at Masika, and baby, okay, you know, Masika got the mouth. So I don't think Carisha responded, or should I say Young Miami, however we identify her. She didn't respond, but somebody responded to Masika. Masika said Carisha is quiet as a church mouse, okay? And then says, I mean, you was quiet too. And then someone responded and said, I mean, you was quiet too when you faked that kidnapping. You know how it go, Buki. And so they tagged Masika in that. And so this is a little messy. So this may be a part of the messy segment right here, y'all. And so Masika responded with, I never faked the kidnapping, Dookie, but I was definitely not quiet at all when the blogs tried to run with that story that y'all keep bringing up 4 years later, when you have nothing intelligent to say, and that has absolutely nothing to do with the topic. You can't even actually defend. Okay, so that's the way she came back with her clap back, and I'm like, okay, you already know how Masika is. She's a clapper, so she's gonna have her little, you know, gestures that she's gonna say. So Kelly Price, in defense of Diddy, came out and she coming on the religion side of it. She's like, okay, so Kelly Price is like, let me offer some prayers and some forgiveness for Diddy. This is what she's offering up, okay? Prayers and forgiveness. She says, I have seen you at your best. You are a unique talent, and both sides that represent light and darkness receives you anxiously. So she's basically saying the dark sides as well as the good sides are both um, welcoming him or anxiously waiting to receive him. Whether you're doing something good or whether you're doing something bad, the enemy wants you, and so does God. Okay, so your Savior wants you, and the enemy wants you. So who are you? Can't serve two. You got to pick and choose. You got where you going with this, right? So that's how Kelly came off or whatever, and let's just read what she had to say about it, because a lot of people is she kind of getting a little backlash now. All right, so it says, "It is my sincere prayer that the power of the Holy Ghost overtake you, so that you not only have a change of heart, but a change of mind and a change of direction. I have seen you at your best and your worst. I know what you are capable of being when you were at your best, despite the seductions of this industry. I want to see you, and I want to see you soon to create this in this business, but I need you to pray, and I need you to receive from the Most High. I need for those prayers to take place sincerely. You are a unique talent, and both sides that represent light and darkness receives you anxiously. Do you know who God is? Lean, I think she was trying to say lean not until your own understanding, but all your ways acknowledge him." So she's quoting from the Bible, but you have to, at the same time she's quoting from the Bible, she has to understand that God is doing something right now. So she has to step aside and let God do what he said he's going to do. Nobody's going to be able to save Diddy. Only God can judge him and save him. But I feel like God is putting him through this because this is the year of exposure, and everybody that's doing anything in the dark is going to come to the light. So it's just a matter of time. You may think you're getting away with it 9 years ago, but 9 years later it's coming out to the light. So just remember that, every dog has their day. Everybody that's done something wrong, you either going to write your wrong off, or your wrong is going to come collect you to write it off. Okay, so you will be acknowledged, and they says every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. So yeah, and we're speaking this on the Gospel Sunday. So let me give praise to God up above, because he is the head of my life. Okay, and so but Kelly Price, I understand, you're coming at him in a biblical manner, and you're coming from a spiritual place. And as a spiritual person myself, I have to say, I get where you're coming from it at. And it's just that he still has to be held accountable for his actions. While I will embrace the prayers and the forgiveness, because we all have to forgive. We can't hold grudges, and we can't hold anything over anybody, because who are we when we are not the creator? We come after God. We don't come before God. So God says how things supposed to be. Forgive 7 times 77. While we may be forgiven, still what's going to happen is going to happen, and you can continue to pray for his forgiveness while he's in that dark place that he's going to most likely be headed to. And see, God takes you to the dark just so he can show you that he is the light, the way, and the truth. So this is just where he has to go to reflect and repent and get that prayer and that forgiveness. But he ain't gonna be able to do it on this side. He's gonna have to do it on the other side, because he allowed the anxiousness to receive him of the darkness. And so now his dark past is coming to collect, and now he has to go into that dark place, if that makes sense. That's just my own personal opinion on it. Okay, now let's get into let's see what else we got going on, because like I said, so many people is coming out to speak. Now this is where I'm offended at, and I'm very offended at, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm offended. Because before I pulled this up, let me get my little notes. When I said to Diddy, what about the people who was around you? Okay, that's my question. What about the people that was around Diddy? So let's listen to this here. Diddy's former, okay, he's a former. He's not even a new person. He's somebody from his past. He no longer works for Diddy, right? He's his bodyguard, okay? And he comes out to say Diddy was beating on Cassie, Kim Porter, and many other women. My problem that I have with this, and why I'm so offended, is because you're coming out saying these things now? Why wasn't you so vocal when he was attacking Kim Porter and Cassie and all many other women? Because then we could have prevented anything that looked like he had anything to do with Kim Porter's untimely demise, and she could still be here today if you would have spoke up, Mr. Bodyguard, back then when you say, he was doing X, Y, and Z to these other women. Like, come on. I get so offended now because, I see things a little bit more different. I grow daily, I learn every day. And this is just something that is just like, wow, how dare he? But anyway, they all doing it. So it's not just him, but I was just putting this in my notes to ask the question, what about the people who was around Diddy? Because they also too have to be held accountable. People that turned the blind eye, people that took the payouts, people that was silent, people that made this case go away 9 years ago. And then here 9 years later, when there's no justice that can be served for Cassie, or Kim because she's no longer here, and anyone else who suffered at the hands of Diddy. All this could have been prevented had these bodyguards and these people who's speaking out so vocally today saying, yeah, he did these things. Why didn't somebody stop these things back then, man? I guess you sorry and was at rock bottom for years and years because you was whipping not only her tail and Kim's tail, but others too. Let's reflect. Harlem to Hollywood soon come. So that just says to me that there's other victims that are out there. There are other people who was affected by Diddy in Harlem as well as New York. I mean, yeah, all of New York, and Hollywood, and probably wherever else he landed himself, because only the people who is affected by him going to come out and say something about what, they endured at the hands of Diddy. Even Young Miami, she just gives me that she was also affected, but she's trying to be like she's not affected because she wanted to, because see, the way I see it, a lot of people, you may not have that type of money he had or had at the time. And it's like, who wouldn't want to be up under a celebrity, especially when they're hot, and everybody is talking about them and they're the highlight, they're viral sensations and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, and this is sad because women will choose to, be carried on the side or walk by side of a man that's abusing them before they would just walk away. Like, I don't know. It's just, I can't judge women. I just be praying for them and their sanities that they will make better decisions. Cause I'm telling you, and I ain't no abusing no man, but I'm not about to be abused. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that. And you ain't fit to put your hands on me. You'll find you somebody else to play your punching bag. I can't be her. Okay, it just ain't gonna happen. All right, let me get out of that one. But my boy, what's his name? Bobby Schmurder. Okay, he is. I want to play his if I could scroll across that statement he came up with, and we can scroll back up and look at some of this stuff. But if y'all got some comments, leave y'all comments in the comment section. If y'all want to join this live or come up here or whatever and voice your individual thoughts and opinions, I think, I don't know if the number is ticking at the top of the screen or not, but I'll go ahead and put it up there at the top. If y'all want to call in, call in. But let me see. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see Bobby. Bobby had, ooh, look, the Plies come on and say something. These dudes have all this money. Okay, so Plies did. Okay, we're going to get back to this channel. Let me go over here to the unlock and see what they got going on. For real. Here it goes. All right, so while that's doing that, let me, I'm saving that so I can get into that next. I want to play the TD Jakes for y'all. I want y'all to hear how he addressed it and how he did not, to me, he didn't keep it all the way real. And that I just kind of, it's just the way I read it. I respect everything he said. It's just, I wish he would have just acknowledged the fact that you were speaking about Diddy, but because you didn't want to use Diddy, you used someone else, like someone who's reached out to you. So let's get into this here, y'all.
Request.
Here it goes. He said he got a request by a lady instead of, you know what I mean?
Before the throne, before we go further in the service, wasn't on the program, but I got a request that came in over social media that I happened just to see as I was coming to church. And the woman said to me, would you please pray for women who are living in danger in their own house?
I mean, that was real. Like I said, everything he said was real. It was deep, very relatable. But I just wish he didn't use this lady and just kept it real and just said the things that you saw on TV within the last 24 to 48 hours as the world have seen when it comes to Sean Diddy Combs. Call him out. You know what I'm saying? Just address it head on, because then it shows that you are being really authentic to domestic violence. And then you could have said this lady reached out to you as well and also influenced your speaking of today, then I feel like that would have been better. But what he did was he reversed it and he put her first and then he put Diddy second. So y'all continue to listen and you'll hear it for yourself. But that's the start of it as he speaks about the lady who reached out to him before he got to the sanctuary.
And there was something about the way she said it, and I know she's watching right now. There was something about the way she said it. It was a cry for help.
Okay, and maybe I'll be sarcastic and a little funny with y'all. So what if it was Diddy playing to be a female and saying, can you address this in this manner? I'm just saying, no, Diddy, no. Okay.
And I realized something when I read what she said. As a father and as a husband and as a son and a mama's boy at that, when I saw the images that have been floating all over the news all week.
Okay, you see now how he brings in Diddy? So I wanted to identify that with y'all. He's talking about what he saw all over the world, what we saw. Not all week, but the last 24 to 48 hours when that video was released and we got a chance to see Cassie get attacked by a madman. Okay? So again, he put the lady first when I honestly feel he should have put Diddy first. And putting Diddy first would have really just separated you from Diddy, to keep it real, since the rumor has it that you one of his S-workers. Okay? And excuse me for chewing my apple. But I mean, just think about it. He should have put Diddy first. That would have separated him from the situation of him and Diddy and the accusations and the rumors and everything. But you wanted to downplay it. You wanted to put this lady first and say, oh, this lady reached out to me and asked if we can address domestic violence and women being scared in their homes. No, you should have addressed Diddy and the domestic violence and the fact that we got to see what we was hearing. Okay, that's not twisted up like that. But anyway, like I said, I still respect the message at the end of the day. Maybe not the messenger on this message.
It became difficult to watch. The atrocious, degrading, demeaning, debauchery. I know who it was, but I saw my daughters.
Now let's pause it. So he's acknowledging Diddy indirectly. I know who it was. I saw who it was. Yeah, we know you know because we know. But again, he didn't want to go at him head on.
As a man, I saw my daughters, and it made me angry. It made me angry. And I thought, if it affected me like that as a man, how much more is that image a trigger for women who have been through that, who are currently going through that, who are in the middle of that, who feel trapped in situations where you are being physically and emotionally and verbally abused. And it is possible to feel trapped and have a key to the door and still feel trapped in a situation you can't get out of. And it has, domestic violence has no, you can be unchurched, you can be educated, you can be rich, you can be poor. But let me tell you something before we pray. And it's not always the man.
Didn't I say that? It is not always the man. We got to look at it from both angles. One does not exclude the other. Okay? Men doing it, and so are women.
Let me tell you a couple of things before we pray. Both for the victims and the perpetrator. There's something you need to understand. If you got a rage you can't control, if you have an emotional problem, a mental health issue where you're bipolar, and your kids get scared when they hear your car coming home.
Ooh, that is a heavy message. Let's break Diddy down like that. Let's talk about Diddy. Let me pull him up. Let's pull, because matter of fact, hold on. Let's talk about him first. Let me get to his images. Let me read Diddy. Let me read him. Okay. Let's see this dark side. Okay, it's loading, I guess. Hold on. There we go. Okay, hold on. What did I do? Okay, we're gonna break them down. Hold on. Let's get back into this.
You gotta get some help, dude. You gotta get some help. You gotta come out of denial and get some help. If you're into substance abuse and it turns you into a weapon, you gotta get some help. It's nice to pray, and and we're going to pray in a moment, but let me tell you something. I grew up as a young pastor. We were taught as young pastors, it was our job to keep people together no matter what. That's what we were taught. So whenever people came to us as pastors, I'm in my early 20s or so, and they wanted counseling, I always counsel them, God can work it out, and God can fix it, and God can do that. And he can do anything. But he may have to do it at a distance.
Okay, now he talking. Like I said, I respect the message that the pastor gave us today. I just don't respect the messenger. Not today. Not today. Okay, so let's look at Diddy. Like I said, because you can look at a person and really see a lot. Look at his eyes. Let's just look at his eyes. Look at his movement. Let's see. Why can't I blow it up? I gotta unmute it. Hold on, y'all.
Got to go into therapy.
Eyes on
Going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
He looks high right now. His eyes is kind of like gloomy a little bit to me. He got that that little drug glow. I'm just reading them. This is me. Okay, so just respect the reader, y'all. His face still got darkness to it, so it looks like he's still indulging in substance, liquor, and all, or whatever he do. He don't look sincere. He look defeated. He given that I'm caught and I have nowhere else to turn but to the people, and try to issue a backhand and a half-ass apology, because that's what it is. He did not identify anyone by name. He never identified Cassie. Let's listen.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and going to rehab.
I wonder, is he still in therapy? Is he still in rehab? Or because he says he went into those things, like as if he's a better person today. I sense, I heard the pastor say bipolar. I would probably identify this somewhere along the lines of personality disorder, that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of disorder. One minute you may see a good guy, and then there's this monster. There's a lot of people that have two sides to them. So, let's not think he's the only one. There's many out there that have two sides to them. You can have a good side, you can have a great side, you can have a great side, an outstanding side, or you can have a good side and a bad side, or a good side and an ugly side. It's the individual.
That video. I'm disgusted.
He's disgusted by a video, not the person.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Okay, what's her apology?
I went and I sought out professional help.
You got help, but are you apologizing?
I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. I had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Well, Michelangelo said
it's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom.
Somebody say he
I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab.
Yeah, well, again, he's not addressing Cassie. He's addressing his behavior. He's not apologizing to Cassie. He's apologizing to himself. So, again, he's not being authentic, and this is not an apology to her. This is an apology to himself. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but he's apologizing to himself. So again, I think he got some issue, a lot of issues. Okay, I'm not even trying to be nice. I think he has a lot of issues. This is really hard for him to come out and do this, but he felt he had to do it, and he went against his attorneys, and I'm sure, again, in my opinion, they advised him don't do it. I'm sure they told him don't do it. I can't imagine them doing that. He got this here. He has enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Signed, Sean Diddy Combs. Is you for real? And then you go 5 seconds up, or two seconds up, and then boom, you at this here, what is this? Apology to himself.
Difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
He said he's disgusted now.
I went and I...
He's sick. He's disgusted. He's sick right now. I would not wish the weight on the world on anybody. Because just imagine you just dealing with your own little problems and how much it may affect you or whatever. You know, and I can't imagine just having the small problems that I have to having some big problem like this all because, you know, you caught red-handed. Like, this is red-handed. Oh, man, this is bad. This is bad. Okay, so let me get into some of these comments right here. Let me see. God forgives you, prayerfully. She does as well. But who should, he says, they say God forgives you. Prayerfully, she does as well. But prayerfully, who does as well? Because he didn't say anybody's name to identify that he apologized to that person. He never said Cassie's name. Can you play it where he says Cassie's name one time in this so-called apology? This is not an apology to Cassie. I'm going to have to retitle this one. This is not an apology to Cassie. This is not. Okay? This is an apology to himself. Okay? That's the one I'm going to title that one. Because this one for her, ain't nowhere in here he said Cassie's name.
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
He committed to be a better man. He's still talking about
I'm not
himself.
asking for forgiveness.
Oh my God. What are you asking for?
I'm truly sorry.
He don't want nobody to say nothing next. He's truly sorry. So basically he's saying this.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted.
Again.
I was disgusted then.
He still ain't said that child name. Moving on. Comment is in the comment. Shout out to you, Francisco says, I believe that this was deliberately leaked in preparations. Hold on. In preparations for the bigger charges coming. That way people won't be surprised. Yes. No, for real. I'm not going to be surprised no way, to be honest with you, because honestly, I mean, I grew up around the music, you know, and hearing, you know, all the stuff from back then. So for me, it's like, it's not a surprise. I'm not surprised. You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not surprised. So whatever's to come, if I be surprised, I'll let y'all know. Like, I didn't know this, you know, but most of this stuff, like, this would, you know, yeah. So it's a limitation is what I'll say. So the question is, what do he have on those tapes? And then 2 is, you know, were there other tapes confiscated? And I'm sure they're going through it because they're leaking little stuff. They leaked what they felt they couldn't use. Whatever they can use, that hasn't come out. We don't know what else they got. They're playing the game with him. What they're doing is they're shaking him down. they're shaking him down right now. Okay, he got to pay a lot of folks. People want their money. He owe a lot of folks. You hear how they said he treated his artists. You hear Lil Rod come out how he did the that song, the album with him. I think he got 8 or 10 songs on the album, and he didn't get what he wanted and all that. So again. And then, yeah, people going to say, oh, okay, because they didn't get what they wanted. Now they came with this here lawsuit. Well, what was they supposed to do? I mean, if you ain't giving them what they're entitled to, if they worked with you and they're entitled to something, then why are you not taking care of the people that's supposed to be taken care of? So, you know, they say the same thing with R. Kelly, that he wasn't taking care of the people around him, or he cut them off, or whatever happened. And then this is why he went through what he went through. So it's no different from saying Diddy is getting possibly shooken down by people whom he supposedly had paid. They didn't go out like the other people who stayed silent, like Mace, unfortunately, and anyone else who didn't speak up when they should have, or felt intimidated because he was becoming more powerful or whatever, you know. But again, at the same time, you have to also look at it too, like things happen for a reason. It's just God's timing. Everything happens in time. Maybe more had to play out. Unfortunately, lives had to be lost. Things had to happen so people can see that. So people can see that the monster that he is, and he's been this monster for a very long time. This monster did not just create overnight. This monster been around for a minute now. I mean, if he's like I said, if you slapped your mother, and then you allegedly unalived your baby's mother, you had no regard for women. You did all these horrendous allegations of mountains of things towards other artists and women, and it's like enough is enough. And let's go back to, matter of fact, let me go back to that statement, because even as I say enough is enough, he's even acknowledging enough is enough. He said time tells truth. That's what he said. Time tells truth, and the truth has hit the time. Okay? And it didn't take no longer than a few days that you posted this for you to now come 2 posts later with this so-called apology. So again, they got you moving the way they need you to move. They got you shaking in your boots right now because you don't know how to really move. You thinking that you needed to come out and issue an apology, and that you felt compelled to do so. And again, enough is enough. And for you to even come out and say enough is enough, and I know he said this last year in December, but you already was acknowledging enough was enough. They were on you. And I think he started to probably realize it at that moment he put this here together. But he didn't think it thoroughly, and he didn't think it through and through, because if he did, he wouldn't have wrote this here statement. And again, I think this too was not authorized by his legal advisor, because if they are advising this of him, then I would be questioning my legal representation, because ain't no way you're gonna leave this here and put this out here. So this is, again, in my opinion, against the legal advice. But yeah, he in this here, like I said, he was in denial. So they're going to show a pattern of him being in denial. In December 6, 2023, Sean Diddy Combs made a post on his social media account that he was in denial that these people were trying to destroy his reputation and his legacy, and that these individuals are looking for a quick payout. They're going to start with that. And then they're going to come in and they're going to be like, okay, so he came in and he said it didn't happen. See, you can't take this off because it's already there. It's digital there. And everybody has this copy of this statement on this said date. So it would be dumb for him to remove it. I know people was questioning to remove it, but I don't think he should, because it's already been said. Then if he removes it, you're recanting. You know what I'm saying? So they already got him. Either way it go, they got him. From my perspective, they got him. But yeah, he came off like that, and then he goes from denying to acknowledging. Okay, it's like, so they're gonna be no. Then you go from denying to, in the middle of time will tell the truth, to the truth coming out, to now you want to tell the truth, and now you want to recant the enough is enough. Well, enough is enough. You're caught, you're done, and it is a matter of time. I don't know what they're really waiting on. I'm curious to know what the holdup was. Once everything comes out and we get all of the the court documents and everything. Oh wow, to break that down, because I already broke down Cassie's and Little Rod's. So I'm just waiting for what they're gonna do next. So what's y'all thoughts, y'all? What's y'all thoughts? Let's see. Apparently there's more tapes. Okay. Appreciate you guys. And again, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I hope to see you guys on the next live so we can continue to talk about Diddy not issuing this apology to these ladies, or to Cassie, since that's what he was addressing. It definitely was just about himself. And y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. We can talk about it down below. Shout out to everybody that was in attendance. Shout out to Karen. Shout out to Cookie the Real 717. Shout out to Jackie. Shout out to Grape Tea News. Make sure y'all subscribe to Grape Tea. He's another good content creator that I have respect for. Shout out to Francisco. Shout out to Zaza McNeil. Shout out to my sis, Miss T's. Great to see you in the building. And who else came up in here? Shout out to Walter Payne. And appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Miss Karen. Appreciate you guys. All right, third time. I think I'll start doing mods. I'm just trying to still build up our channel because I know we got to rebuild, y'all. But we're going to get there. We're going to crawl before we walk. I think I'm going to start dropping some pre-recorded videos so I can get some of my points across out there. I'm definitely going to highlight a portion of this here video speaking about how Diddy did not address Cassie head on. The apology was not to me, to her. It was to himself. He's embarrassed for what he saw, what the world saw, I should say, and how it had to play out like this. It's humiliating. It's embarrassing. He's embarrassed. He's disgusted by himself. And he not once identified how he was disgusted for what he put Cassie through. He never identified that. So I wanted to put that out there, and yeah, see you guys on the next one. That's my time. Peace.